to episode 2 of the road to half marathon right now. We got a cheeky little tempo run, went to a 1 kilometer warm up, and then 5 kilometers at a tempo pace. I think I'm new to this. This is only my second tempo run, and the first one that I did was on the treadmill. So my plan is 1 kilometer warm up run at a nice slow 6:40 kilometer pace, and then we're going to get into a 5:30 pace, which I believe is a comfortably high pace for me. I'm going to hold that for 5 kilometers, and then 1 kilometer cool down. And yeah, this is the first time I did a tempo run was on a treadmill, and I held, I think, 11 kilometers an hour, which I think is like a 5:27 pace for 5Ks. So it's only my second time doing it, and see how it goes. But yeah, today is, shuts up. This bike track is right next to a motorway. So today marks the 51st day of running streak, and yeah, in this video, pretty much going to talk about how my body, my mind changed from running 51 days in a row. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to finish this run off and we'll talk about it. Alrighty, all done with the run. That was tough. So I did, like I said, the 1 kilometer warm up and then 5Ks at a 5:24 pace, or 5:24 pace, I think. And yeah, it was comfortably hard, which I'm pretty sure is how a tempo run is supposed to go. I'm not 100% sure on this kind of stuff, but I'm pretty sure you should be able to run another 1 to 2 kilometers after you finish. That's the kind of pace you want to hold. And I feel like that's at a 5:24 pace was pretty much that. So yeah, it went well. My VO2 max increased to 53 according to my Garmin. Don't know how accurate that is, but I'll take that as a win. Yeah, so I'm gonna go home, shower up, eat some brekkie. Alrighty, about to dig into my breakfast, which is French toast, anabolic French toast. It's like high protein, lower calorie, and with some Greek yogurt and some sugar-free maple syrup on it. Absolutely delicious, and I'm starving right now. First proper meal after my run, and I'm so hungry. I'm gonna devour this. I have this every single morning. I've had it for longer than I can remember, and it's just so good every single time, and it's delicious. Good protein, relatively low in calories, and yeah, high in fiber, delicious. Alrighty, so how did my body change after 50 plus days of running straight? Here's the before, and nothing crazy. I had just come back from a trip to New Zealand, so I was running probably, actually I was pretty consistent with cardio. This is probably the only trip that I went on that I actually became back more fitter. I did cardio almost every single day, and just lots of hiking, lots of running, because it's New Zealand, there's a bunch of mountains there. So yeah, that's how my before physique was looking about 50 days ago on the 10th of September, and this is me now. Nothing crazy. I will say these past 50 days, I didn't just run, I also lifted. Out of the 50 days, I lifted 45 days, so that's something to consider. So I put on muscle and strength while eating in a calorie deficit. So anyone who says that cardio kills gains, you're completely wrong. I built muscle, I built strength, and I got leaner during these past 50 days. And the key to that was just eating in a relatively small calorie deficit. I ate in about like a 300 to 500 calorie deficit, nothing more than that. So that's how my body changed. Definitely, I lost about a couple kilos, like 2.5 kilos. I wasn't really trying to lose weight. I was more focused on improving my body composition. I was more focused on losing fat and building muscle. So I wasn't really worried about how much weight I would lose, because I'd lose weight, but the metric that I was more focused on was my body composition. Was I getting stronger, and was I getting leaner? Yeah, so I lost about 2.5 kilos during this process. Nothing crazy, it's just been 50 days. Yeah, so I got leaner, got more muscular, got more stronger. yeah. Now for my fitness levels, I would say, has improved a decent amount. So in the beginning, I was running at a 7:30 kilometer pace for 45 minutes, and my average heart rate was 151. Recently, I did a 5K at the same pace on the treadmill, and my average heart rate was 137. That's a big improvement. Not even that. A couple of days ago, I ran 10Ks at a 6:27 pace, 6:27 kilometer pace, and my average heart rate is 140. So hell yeah, you know what I mean. From a 7:30 pace, 151 average heart rate to a 6:27 pace and 140 average heart rate. So in 50 days, it's pretty solid progress if I do say so myself. Also, I don't know how relevant or accurate this is, but my Garmin says my VO2 max increased from 51 to 53. Like I said, don't know how accurate or relevant that is, but just want to put that out there. Now, how did my mindset change? How did my mindset change? How did my mindset change? I feel like running is just part of my identity now. It's just like, it's not something, it's just so habitual. They say it takes like 21 days to build a habit. And I feel like running now is just kind of like brushing my teeth. It's just something that I just have to get done. And no matter how good or bad I feel, I'm going to get that run done. Because one thing's for sure is no matter how good or bad I feel, after that run, I always have the same feeling. And that feeling is fulfilled and just happy, and just I feel amazing after each run. No matter how good or shitty I felt before the run or during the run, I always feel good afterwards. So I make sure to get that run in every single day. And obviously, some days I look forward to it, some days I don't. But yeah, I feel amazing afterwards, so I keep it in. It's just something that I have to do. What else? Yeah, another thing was on the days that I didn't really feel like running, I would just kind of, the streak would hold me accountable. I didn't want to break the streak. Whether it be like 5 days, 10 days, 15 days, 20 days. The fact that I had ran that much, I didn't want to break it. I just wanted to keep that run streak going. So every time I didn't feel like it, I was like, oh, but then I'm going to break that streak, and then I'm going to feel even shittier than I feel right now. So let's just get the run over and done with. Also, I should mention I ran at least 5 kilometers a day every single day for these past 50 days, except on Monday I ran 3 kilometers. But other than that, everyone has been at least 5 kilometers or more, up to 15 kilometers. Yeah, so that's how my mindset changed. Now, how I prevented injury. Okay, this is really near and dear to me because I started running back in March, and I've gotten injured a lot. Now I'm at a position where I've gone 50 days without any serious injuries, so I'm really thankful. I'm really appreciative. I'm really grateful that I've kind of like figured it out. So what's worked for me is, number one, and this is the reason for about 95% of my injuries, is increasing my mileage too quickly. Don't do that. It's stupid. What happens is your body gets more fit, right? And you're capable of running longer distances, but your bones, your tendons, your ligaments, these things, your tendons especially, they take time to adapt, and they take time to recover. So your muscles, they recover within like 48 hours, and your heart gets fitter, so your stamina increases, and you're able to run longer distances. But your tendons are a lot slower at recovering. So, you'll feel amazing, you'll feel great, but then one day you'll go for a run and then just like something snaps, and then you just get like a pain out of nowhere. So yeah, don't increase your mileage too quickly. I've been increasing my mileage from 42 kilometers to 60 kilometers. Right now, this week I'll be running 55Ks, and I've just been increasing my mileage by 10% every single week. So that's number one, on how I prevent injury. I have had a couple of flare-ups, I will say, during these past 50 days. My left hamstring kind of strained a bit when I was pushing my dad on his wheelchair, and that got me a little worried. But after I iced it, I asked ChatGPT. ChatGPT's a freaking king. Put a bit of ice on it, had a couple good nights sleep, and yeah, I felt the pain just completely went away. Same thing with my tibialis anterior, the muscle in front of your shin. After one specific run, I just noticed that I was getting pain every time I'd lift my foot. So I did the same thing. I iced it, I went to sleep, and I woke up next morning, the pain was completely gone. So that's pretty cool. How else to prevent injury? Fueling is very important. Make sure you're not in too much of a calorie deficit. Make sure you're eating whole food, nutritious foods. Try to stay away from processed foods if you can. I'd say try to keep at least 80% of your diet whole foods, and yeah, don't eat in too much of a deficit. Make sure you're eating plenty of high quality proteins, carbs, and fats, especially carbs and protein. Make sure you're getting plenty of those because your body needs those for the runs and for recovery. What else? Stretching. I slacked on this a lot, but yeah, stretching is really important to prevent injury as well, because otherwise your muscles just get really tight and they don't work properly. So when you're running, because your muscles aren't like kind of activated properly, the stress goes onto your joints. So make sure you're stretching and you're doing your mobility work. That's very important. Yeah, and just listen to your body. You know, if one day you have like a tempo run scheduled or an interval run, and your let's say like your resting heart rate's a lot higher than it usually is, and you know you're noticing some pain every time you walk on your foot, you know, listen to your body and try to do some like exercises and see if that increases the pain or not. And maybe just take it easy that day. Don't do your interval run session. Just do like a nice easy run or a recovery run, you know, because that could save you weeks. You know, you might miss a day of sticking to your schedule, but that might save you weeks in the future. So yeah, that's I learned that. What else? Oh yeah, keep most of your runs at an easy conversational pace. That's what I did. So I do 2 recovery runs. I've just included those recently. I do 2 recovery runs at a very slow pace, 7:30 kilometer pace, just 3 kilometers, and then I'll do an hour of incline walking that day. That's 2 recovery runs. I do 1 long run, I do 1 tempo run, and I do 3 easy runs. So as you can notice, I just have 1 hard workout, which is my tempo workout, and I guess my long run. But the long run is done at an easy pace. So I just have 1 kind of speed session. But most of my runs are at an easy pace and nothing too intense. What else? Yeah, that's about it. That's pretty much what happened to my mind and my body and how I prevented injury these past 50 days of running. I feel good. You know, I'm excited for the future. I'm getting fitter and fitter every single day, getting leaner every single day, and that sub 2 hour marathon is coming down. I'm getting it done by the end of this year. Only thing I'm worried about is because it's going to be peak summer here in Australia by the time I would want to do my race, and I'm just kind of worried that that's going to affect my performance. Well, it will affect my performance, and I just want to make sure I'm prepared for it. But yeah, that's about it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something, and follow along the journey to see me destroy this sub 2 hour half marathon. I'll see you in the next one.